In a world teetering on the edge of uncertainty, where the fabric of society often feels disjointed and fragmented, the question arises, how can we navigate life with purpose, strength, and a sense of direction? In a time when external pressures, technological advancements, and shifting cultural norms seem to blur the path forward, is there still a way for individuals to assert themselves, to truly live on their own terms? Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential philosophers of the modern era, offers us a powerful answer to this question through his concept of the will to power. Nietzsche's philosophy doesn't just seek to explain how the world works. It urges us to take control of our existence in a world that often seems beyond our grasp. In the face of chaos, Nietzsche insists that the answer lies within ourselves, not in the values, traditions, or systems handed to us, but in our ability to assert and cultivate personal strength. The will to power is Nietzsche's radical call to embrace life fully, to rise above societal limitations, and to affirm the strength within us to shape our own destinies. But what does it really mean to live with the will to power? How can we channel this force to not just survive, but thrive in the face of adversity? In this essay, we'll explore Nietzsche's concept of the will to power, how it relates to our understanding of personal strength, and why embracing this philosophy might be the key to living authentically in a fragmented world. Before we dive into this exploration of Nietzsche's will to power, let me take a moment to welcome you to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel. If you're someone who loves exploring the depths of philosophy, personal growth, and the bigger questions of existence, you're in the right place. On this channel, we embark on intellectual adventures together, peeling back layers of human thought and self-discovery, just as we're doing today. If you're ready to question your assumptions and dive deeper into how we can live more authentically, be sure to subscribe to join us on this ongoing journey. We're glad you're here, and we look forward to exploring these complex ideas with you. At the core of Nietzsche's philosophy lies the will to power, a concept that is far more than just a desire for dominance or control over others. In fact, Nietzsche's will to power isn't about power in the traditional sense of political or social hierarchy. Instead, it represents the fundamental drive within all individuals to overcome challenges, affirm life, and assert one's own values and identity in the world. For Nietzsche, life itself is an act of will. Every moment we live, every action we take, is an expression of this deeper, underlying force. The will to power is not just about achieving success or asserting dominance over others. It is the drive to live creatively, to continuously grow, to seek meaning, and to become something greater than what we were before. In Nietzsche's view, the will to power transcends mere survival. It's not about maintaining the status quo or simply getting by. The true expression of the will to power is about striving towards higher goals, constantly evolving, and refusing to be limited by external circumstances. It's about embracing life as a force for self-overcoming. But in a world filled with distraction, confusion, and external pressure, how can we tap into this power within ourselves? How can we reconnect with this force, especially when external systems of meaning often leave us feeling fragmented or disconnected? In today's world, Nietzsche's call to the will to power feels especially urgent. The modern world often seems fragmented, disjointed, and overwhelmed by constant change. Technology, globalization, and shifting social values leave many feeling lost, uncertain about their place in the world, and unsure of where to turn for answers. The fragmentation of our globalized society often leads individuals to feel disconnected, not only from others but from themselves. In such a world, it's easy to feel as though our sense of identity and purpose is no longer our own, but has been dictated by external forces such as social media, cultural norms, or societal expectations. Nietzsche would argue that the will to power offers us an antidote to this external domination. To embrace the will to power means to regain control over our own lives, to reclaim the autonomy that external influences have gradually stripped away. Rather than passively accepting the values handed to us by society, we must assert our own values, grounded in our deepest passions, desires, and truths. Nietzsche's vision of the individual is not one who follows the herd but one who steps out boldly, creating their own path. This can be incredibly empowering. It means taking responsibility for our actions, our choices, and the kind of life we want to lead. It is a rejection of the passive approach to life, where we wait for things to happen to us, and an affirmation of our active participation in shaping our own future. But how exactly do we begin to cultivate this will to power in a world that often feels fragmented or chaotic? One of the key aspects of Nietzsche's will to power is self-mastery. To truly harness the will to power, we must first master ourselves, our impulses, and our desires. This does not mean suppressing our desires, but rather transforming them, turning them into a creative force that drives us towards self-actualization. Self-mastery in this context is not about rigid control over every aspect of our lives, but about understanding ourselves deeply enough to know what motivates us and how to channel those forces into something meaningful. Nietzsche famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." This quote encapsulates the essence of the will to power. When we have a clear sense of purpose, a why, we can endure the trials of life and transform adversity into strength. In this sense, the will to power is also a process of continual growth. It's about pushing ourselves to new heights, evolving constantly, and shedding limiting beliefs and external expectations. Nietzsche's call to embrace the will to power asks us to take full responsibility for our own development and to rise above the constraints that society places on us. However, this doesn't mean that we are expected to live a solitary existence free of community. Nietzsche recognizes the importance of relationships and connections. But, he insists, we must never allow ourselves to be dominated by others or by social pressures. Instead, we must remain true to our own values, even if they conflict with the dominant cultural paradigms. Nietzsche's philosophy is often misinterpreted as promoting a life free of suffering, but nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, for Nietzsche, suffering is an essential component of the will to power. Suffering, adversity, and challenges are not to be avoided. They are to be embraced and used as fuel for growth. Nietzsche famously said, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." This powerful statement speaks to his belief that pain and struggle are integral to the process of becoming stronger and more self-actualized. By embracing and overcoming suffering, we gain the resilience and power necessary to face life's challenges head-on. The will to power then isn't about living a life of comfort or avoiding hardship. It's about finding strength through struggle, learning from adversity, and using our challenges as opportunities for self-overcoming. It's about transforming pain into something creative, something that propels us forward rather than holding us back. This perspective can be incredibly liberating. In a world that often seeks to avoid or numb suffering, Nietzsche invites us to view life's hardships as a vital part of our journey toward greater self-realization. By accepting suffering as a necessary part of life, we unlock the potential to transform our challenges into a source of personal power. A key theme in Nietzsche's philosophy is the overcoming of the herd mentality. Nietzsche argues that most people live their lives according to external values, passively accepting the norms and expectations imposed by society. The result is a life of mediocrity, driven by conformity rather than creativity or self-expression. To truly embrace the will to power, we must rise above this herd mentality. This requires an act of radical self-assertion, rejecting the values of others and embracing our own unique vision of the world. Nietzsche's idea of the Übermensch, often translated as the Overman or Superman, represents the individual who has transcended the herd and created their own values. The journey toward becoming the Übermensch is the journey toward authentic self-creation. It requires courage, strength, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth and individuality. The will to power is not just about achieving external success. It is about creating a life that is authentically your own. Nietzsche's will to power is a powerful philosophy for navigating life in a fragmented world. In the face of uncertainty, external pressures, and societal fragmentation, embracing the will to power means asserting our own values, mastering ourselves, and using our struggles as stepping stones toward greater personal strength. It's about rejecting the passivity of the herd and embracing a life of active self-creation. By accepting the challenges and suffering that life brings, we tap into our deepest reserves of power, transforming adversity into the fuel that propels us toward self-realization. The will to power is not about domination or control. It is about embracing life with all its complexities and becoming the strongest, most authentic version of ourselves. If you found this exploration of Nietzsche's will to power thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey channel. On this channel, we dive deep into philosophical ideas, personal development, and self-discovery. Join us as we continue to explore how we can live authentically and powerfully in today's world. Hit the subscribe button and become part of the journey to reclaim your own power and purpose.